I watched The Hangover Part 3 this morning, and I was very pleasantly surprised. It was a good movie. Currently holds a 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb. A lot of bad buzz about it. People just attacked this movie before it even came out. Now, I won't say I wasn't one of them. I was just mad because they did such a bad job marketing this movie. They waited like 2 months before it came out to finally release a trailer. And it comes out, same weekend as Fast 6. I mean, Fast 6, it's the 6th movie in the series. You're going up against a strong competitor. And they instead chose to open it a day early. And I'm like, well, why not a week early? Let it get some money in. Fast 6 made over 120 million this last weekend. And Hangover 3 made about 51. Anyways, I really like the movie. It is very different than the first two. And I think that if this were the second movie, it would have worked better. Because it's out there. There's some stuff in it that's very odd at times. And calling it The Hangover Part 3, I would have called it something like The Wolfpack Returns. Because nobody gets hungover. Nobody gets drunk. There are some drugs involved, but not with the main characters. Anyways, got some notes here. Chow's escape at the beginning of the movie. I think they could have used a little bit more humor in that scene. Maybe have him say, "So long, gay boys." We just hear that. We don't see him saying that while he's going through the tunnels. I like the Shawshank reference in that, digging the hole through the wall. That was pretty clever. Alan with his giraffe, that was hilarious. Gets decapitated. I'm not sure if FEMA's okay with that. But hey, I'm sure they didn't use a real giraffe. Probably CGI. Funeral scene had some good laughs in it, as well as the dinner scene. The humor in the dinner scene, it was pretty dry, the delivery, but it's what they're saying that's so funny. Like, if you've watched the second movie, you know what Phil's referring to. The ink that got inside him. And that got some good laughs, though. And the kidnapping scene with Black Doug, Mike Epps, just hilarious. They keep calling him Black Doug. He's like, "Call me that one more time. Sorry, Black Doug. The drug purchase from the first film, when Doug, references Marshall. I like how that ties into this movie. That was very clever. I'm not sure if Todd Phillips planned that, but it works very well. So it's not like this movie is just for nothing. They're like, Marshall, we'll just create that character and try and do this other stuff. It's like they're referencing the first film. And I like the flashbacks too. Chow's return. Now, we see some different sides of Chow, or a different side, but keep in mind that from what we can tell, he's off drugs. He just got out of prison. I don't mean he quit them, he's just not on drugs at the time. So we see a serious side of him, which is a bit unsettling at times. It's kind of odd, but this movie, I don't know, it takes some weird turns, but it works for me. The house heist, the colorblind, and the dog food, those are just hilarious scenes. When Chow takes off, leaves him in the basement. I would have liked to see, how the cops, like when the cops show up and arrest all of them, see what their excuse is in that. And when they return to Vegas, now thankfully, they go back to Vegas about an hour into the movie. So it's not like we're revisiting the first film right away. And they don't even make really a big deal about it. I mean, I didn't feel like we were revisiting the first movie, all in all. Just felt like they were going back to this place, and there weren't so many scenic shots that you got tired of it and be like, oh, this is going to be like the first film. Melissa McCarthy, I can't remember her character's name. It starts with a C. It's like Cassandra or something. She did a great job. Her and Zach Galifianakis have great chemistry. Jade as the escort. I like how they got her into this movie, her role. And it's not like they just knocked on her door and like, oh, we're just in the neighborhood. Like, she has an important part in the movie. Now, towards the end, when Chow falls, when he gets hit by the car, or no, I'm sorry, when he gets thrown from the car, is it just me, or did some of that music sound very reminiscent of Fast and Furious, like the Brian Tyler score? Listen to it again and let me know what you think. Chow in the trunk, talking to him, that's just hilarious. Maybe the funniest he was in that movie. The Alan and Chow breakup. It's weird because we see Alan evolve in this movie. He just realizes that there are different things he wants to do with his life, even leaving the wolf pack, which was surprising. The pornography, that was hilarious. There is not a wedding in this movie, but there is a marriage. We don't see the actual wedding. So I guess they didn't want to repeat the first two films so much. They're like, well, there's going to be a wedding, but we're not going to show it. Which is kind of odd. And I heard there's an after credit scene, which I did not see. I think Chow sent them the wedding cake. They said like, oh, it's from Mr. Chow. Pretty funny. But, yeah, I would have called this movie The Wolfpack Returns. It's weird because they're making it sound like these guys have been on so many adventures together. And it's like, this is the third movie. This is the third time all of them have gotten together. I mean, the epic finale to the trilogy, it's like, as much as I love these movies, they're doing this way too soon. I can understand that Todd Phillips, he's dedicated, the last 5 or 6 years of his life making these movies. But, I mean, these guys they have great chemistry, lots of laughs. I didn't get bored with him in this movie, despite all the reviews and comments about it. I mean, there's some good laughs. It's not as outrageous, per se, as the first and second movie. But it works for me. But I just don't think they should have ended it all like this. I like what they did with Alan's character. It was dramatic, but it still fit. But I mean, you have so many opportunities, to get them all back together. At the end of the movie, Alan mentioned bowling on Sundays or whatever, or bowling on Tuesdays, getting together every other Sunday for something. And if they had done like 4 or 5 of these movies and then done this one, I'm like, okay, these guys should definitely stop hanging out. But they're treating it like they've been through so much. And even though the things they've been through are very outrageous, it's like those are 2 times that they hung out. But overall, some good laughs. See this with some friends. I wouldn't pay, $11, $12 for a ticket. I'd pay like $6, $7. And it is very different than the first two. John Goodman is good in this movie. Or John Goodman is good, that didn't sound right. John Goodman is great. He's very funny in this. Some say he was underused. I think he was in it just enough. Kind of like Paul Giamatti in the second movie, who is also after Chow. But overall, for what it's worth, it was a good ending. It was very satisfying, to say the least, But let me know what you think in the comments below. Leave some video responses. And do yourself a favor, ignore all the bad press about this, the bad hype. Just see it for yourself. It's not that crazy that it stands out like the first one, but it's entertaining. So at least watch it and then make up your mind. Anyways, I will talk to you later. Have a great day, and buy yourself a ticket for The Hangover Part III, now playing in theaters.